Do one.
This is just a plain old one, but all right, guys, we are live. Come on in, get comfortable. Hey, Will Martinez, Priya, Clayton, come on in, guys. We already have like a full house basically in the waiting room, so come on in out of the waiting room. Welcome to day 3 of 3 days of consecutive webinars. So 3 webinars, 3 days. Go to the chat and say hi. I'm curious, how many of you guys have been here every day? Go to the chat. You don't get any special points.
They get special points in my heart.
Yeah, you get imaginary points if you've been here for all 3 days. But if this is today, or today is your first webinar that you're joining, that's okay too. Remember, each one of these webinars has been designed to stand up on its own. So these are all standalone. They all do make sense together. So tomorrow we're going to send out a replay of all of the webinars if you've been live on any one of them. So the people that were just hoping to get to see the webinars but didn't attend any of them live, they're out of luck. But you guys who are joined, we'll make sure you get a copy of all 3 webinars. So go to the chat. Tell us what market you serve. It's always helpful for us to see where you guys are from. And the text messages are still going out. They went out just a touch late today. The emails are going out. Just want to make sure. Yeah, emails going out. Although I'm not seeing our bear with me, Levi. I got to make sure that our email went out. Grant Wise is one of the sponsors of today's webinar, and his email is going out, but I'm not seeing our email, so I'm going to double check on that. So come on in, guys. Get comfortable. Chat with Levi while I make sure that all of our technical stuff is happening behind the scenes.
Bill says, my regrets that I missed the other webinars. I'm in the Atlanta market. It's 50 demerits for you, Bill, for missing the other ones. Well, like Chris said, after this one, you actually lucked out. If you happen to miss the other ones, we didn't publicize this because we wanted people to come live, but we will be sending out the replays for all 3 after this one. While you guys are continuing to come in, go ahead and enter in your city. We want to see kind of where we're represented. I'm already seeing California, New York, South Carolina, Texas, Arizona, Washington. We're all over the place. You'll take your punishment. Does any place actually have demerits anymore? Is that a thing?
No, dude, you're dating yourself for sure.
Well, I only thought of it because not because I've ever received a demerit. I'm not that old. Come on. I was listening to a book about Civil War history, and one of the West Point generals, in fact, it was Custer, General Custer, funny enough, had a school record 745 demerits or something like that during his 4 years there. It's probably still a record, to be quite honest. That's a heck of a lot of demerits.
All right. We were right. The email had not gone out yet, but it's on its way. So for those of you guys who are waiting for a We're Going Live email, I apologize. Obviously, you're not here, but I apologize to you anyway.
You guys, if you want, we'll be doing a drawing at the end of the session today where we'll be giving away some coaching. So for those of you who have already put in the city that you're working in, continue to do that. So welcome, but you can get a second entry into the drawing by subscribing to our YouTube channel. We've recently resurrected it from the grave and put out at least 2 new videos every single week, training, whatever helpful stuff we can put out. It's there. So go ahead and subscribe to that channel and you'll get a second entry.
Yeah. Total reboot on it. It's been really good. So definitely go and then let us know that you're subscribed, and that'll be a second entry into the drawing. So welcome, guys. This is the final of 3 days of webinars where we're going to teach you basically 3 playbooks over 3 days that, when put together, will form the perfect marketing pyramid. And we'll talk more about that in just a minute. But if you guys are ready to go, let's get into it. So my name is Chris Jones, founder and CEO of Guerrilla Realty. I'm joined today by my brother, co-founder, and head coach of Guerrilla Realty, and we're gonna teach this webinar together. And what we're teaching today is how to get consistent clients from a simple lead surfacing message. So if you want to get leads, consistent clients from your sphere of influence, but you don't want to be an annoyance to them, then this is the way to do it. And this is a way to reliably get people in your sphere to raise their hand and say, hey, yes, Chris, I admit I'm looking for homes. Or, hey, yes, Chris, I'm thinking about selling my home soon. And you don't have to pressure them. You can just offer them something really valuable. And we're going to show you exactly how we do that. We're going to break down the whole concept and give you all the downloadables that you need. So if you have never attended, if you missed Monday and Tuesday, you've never attended any of our webinars before, you should know that they've been featured by Inman. They've been featured many times on The Close, even by CNN. And that's not even what we're most proud of. What we're most proud of is that our ideas are proudly used at many of North America's top real estate firms like RE/MAX, Keller Williams, Realty One, Epic, and on and on and on. And I don't say any of this to brag. I just want to establish our credibility as a team very quickly. But I am going to brag for a minute. So we have made a name for ourselves. I'm sure, Levi, we've made plenty of names for ourselves. But one of the names we've made for ourselves, it's actually a good thing, is that we are known as the company that puts on the world's best webinars for realtors. We really put a lot of time and effort and energy, but it wasn't an accident that we have the best webinars. We're not just like we weren't born being good at webinars. The reason why our webinars are so good is we follow 3 specific rules to make it happen. So rule number 1 is we always keep our webinars under an hour. So we get you in and out and ready to execute, which is rule number 2. We flat out do not teach an idea unless it's something that you can go and execute yourself in under 2 hours. If it takes days, weeks, or months to implement, it probably isn't an idea we're going to teach. It's not something we're going to get excited about. So that's rule number 2. And then rule number 3 is we always guarantee your result in under 24 hours. We believe in quick wins. We believe that quick wins help you build momentum, help you get really excited about continuing and to build consistency on it. And so we just don't teach ideas that you're going to have to wait like a month or a year for it to come to fruition. So everything that we do, you're going to get results in under 24 hours. This one is no exception. In fact, you will have a brand new CMA request from somebody inside your sphere by this time tomorrow, if you're willing to follow rule number 2 and go out and execute. So as a bonus, we're going to give you all the downloads, all the software, all the tools, everything that you need in order to get started. But remember, rule number 2 is entirely up to you. We're going to handle the rest, but you're going to have to go out and do rule number 2. So can I just get a quick commitment from everybody who's live on the webinar? Can you go and type the word execute into the chat if you're raising your hand and saying, hey, I'll go execute today. You have my word on that. And the reason why is, remember, right, we've all done this before. We learn a cool new idea, something we know would work to grow our business. And instead of executing on it, what do? We sit on it and we get lazy, or we procrastinate, or, maybe it's not even a bad thing. We're just like, oh man, I'll be so much more available to focus on this next week or next month. Or, you know what? I'm going to start this new idea January 1st. That's usually what people in Q4, they're like, hey, I'm going to start my new diet and my new business idea and my new everything on January 1st. Okay. Terrible idea. So all you guys are typing the word execute. I'm going to hold you to it. I want to see your results by this time tomorrow. All right. Here's a roadmap of where we're going today. So we're going to break it down into 3 lessons like we always do. Lesson number 1 is I'm going to show you how to fix your sphere of influence marketing in 30 minutes. So most of you guys already know this. Your marketing's broke. All right. if you're not getting consistent leads from your sphere of influence, or you've got to annoy them to death in order to do it, then your marketing's broke. So I'm going to show you how to fix it. And that's lesson number 1. In lesson number 2, I'm going to get really, really specific, and we're going to break down the step-by-step of the strategy. And I'm going to actually give you the download of our lead surfacing message. So this lead surfacing message is something you can send out to your database simply 2 times per year, and you're done. And it will just automatically bring to the surface all of the viable leads that are currently hiding in your sphere of influence, right? So we're going to teach you through all that. And then lesson number 3, and this is the most important lesson we're going to teach today, how to make it evergreen. So the last thing you want to do is go try this one time, get one lead, maybe close one deal, and then never do it again. And so there is a specific formula that we use to make this evergreen. And so if you want to be consistently getting all the deals that you can from your sphere of influence, then hang around till lesson number 3, and we'll teach you through that. All right. So there's really just a couple of tools required in order for you to pull this off. It's going to be really easy. First of all, just like every webinar I've taught this week, you're going to need a download of our marketing evaluator calculator. If you don't have a copy of this, what's wrong with you? I've used it every single day. I've told you this is the one calculator that you cannot live without. If you were only using one of our calculators, it'd probably be this one, right? And this is a way to basically battle test your marketing ideas before you ever go and waste any time or money on them. All right. So you're going to get a download of that. And then you're also going to get our lead surfacing message. So I know this is why everyone's here. This is what we've been teasing you with. I just want the goods, Chris. I just want the 2 messages I can send out, and I'll take care of the rest. Right. So we'll give you that. Both these are going to be free downloads that we'll give you at the end of the webinar today. And then I'm also going to strongly recommend that you get Pipeline Pro Tools. So Pro Tools, look at me, forgot to turn my ringer off on my phone. Go ahead and turn it upside down too. So Pipeline Pro Tools is our company's flagship product. All right. It's a complete marketing engine for realtors. You turn the key and start getting client after client after client after client consistently. This thing costs money. All right. So this won't be free. All right. I wish we could make it free, but it wouldn't be good if it was free. So you can do everything that we're going to teach you today with or without Pro Tools. All right. So with or without Pro Tools, but everything that I teach you is going to be 1,000 times better. It's going to be easier. It's going to be more effective if you have Pro Tools. So for that reason, I will do the obligatory 90-second sales pitch at the end. It's everybody's favorite part because there's a cool giveaway attached to it. So stick around for that, but we'll show you behind the scenes and you'll enjoy that part. All right. But remember, we don't teach it if you've got to buy something in order to get the result. We get people emailing us every day after watching a webinar. Hey, I went out and did the thing for free. I already got a new client. I already, got a closing. I already took a listing. And so now I'm buying Pro Tools, and that's fine too. All right. The smartest agents go out and buy Pro Tools and make the whole thing easier. But we know not everyone's in a position to do that. So does that sound fair? Everybody good with that? All right. Last little bit of housekeeping is the cheat sheet. So we have put together a lead surfacing message cheat sheet that will cover a complete outline of everything I'm going to teach you today, plus links to every resource and tool that you'll need in order to implement. And we'll let you download it at the end of the webinar. So what that means is that you don't have to open like 74 tabs and chase all this stuff down while I'm teaching. I just want you to stay locked in, and it'll all come to you at the end of the webinar. All right. And that brings us to lesson number 1. Anybody interested in how to fix your sphere of influence marketing in under 30 minutes? You guys ready for this? It's like day 3. I feel like everyone's a little tired, especially if you were here on days 1 and 2. You're like, oh, Chris, I've already seen this. Rebecca's already asking, how long is this? Well, Rebecca, you must have come in late because I already covered that. We do all of our webinars in under an hour. Although now that I had to answer your question, it's going to be an hour and like 5 seconds, since it took me 5 seconds to answer the question. No, I'm just kidding. All right. I'm just going to have to cut 5 minutes of content later on. So we'll cut the cheat sheet. How about that? Just kidding. All right. So lesson number 1, how to fix your sphere of influence marketing in under 30 minutes. So in order to show you how to fix your marketing, I've got to introduce you guys to the concept of the marketing pyramid. And if you were here yesterday or the day before, then you've already seen this, but the marketing pyramid should look like this. Every great real estate business should be built on a marketing engine or a marketing pyramid that looks like this. On the bottom, your strong foundation should be direct response marketing. Direct response marketing is any kind of ad, social media, cold calling, direct mail. It's anytime that you do an actual activity that requires some kind of lead response from your prospects, and you end up with names and phone numbers of people that probably need your services. So for example, we showed you our plug and play Facebook Marketplace ad on Monday, and we showed you how you could go out and using direct response marketing, using that playbook, get 80 leads. And we've developed a dozen or so playbooks that always ROI. All right. And so that's direct response. Then you should add infrastructure on top of that. Infrastructure is what we taught yesterday. It's any kind of physical or digital infrastructure out in the world that just quietly points back to your business. So it includes things like park benches, which, by the way, don't ROI, yard signs, which can ROI quite well if you do them the way we teach. We taught that yesterday. Business cards, Google, Bing, and Yahoo are great examples of digital infrastructure, and so on. And then the cherry on top should be sphere of influence, friends, family, and referrals. And obviously, this is what we're gonna cover today. Right. The problem is most realtors don't do this. In fact, Levi and I have done a lot of one-on-one coaching with realtors over the years, and we agree that 95% of realtors don't have a marketing pyramid. Rather, they do what we call upside down marketing. Right? What's upside down marketing? Upside down marketing is when you get your real estate license, or maybe you've been licensed forever, but every year you tackle your marketing the same way, where you start by attacking your sphere of influence or your natural market, right? And you try to milk as many deals as you can from your friends and family. You guilt trip them, right? You call them up, you beg them for business, and you do your sphere of influence. Of course, we demonstrated using our sphere of influence marketing evaluator calculator, which is a different calculator, that really you're only going to average, if you're an average person with an average number of adult friends, that you're going to average about 2 to 3 likely closings from your sphere of influence every year. Oh, Chris, I got 7 this year. Well, you'll probably get 0 next year. This is just math. Okay. So you can't really fight it. So this is what realtors do. They start with sphere of influence. It's all upside down. Then when they max out their sphere of influence, which they do pretty quickly, and they hit that plateau, they start dabbling in infrastructure. Maybe they work on their business cards or their Google profile or their Facebook profile. And they do a little bit of infrastructure. Most of them never end up touching direct response marketing at all. And the ones that do the only kind of direct response marketing that doesn't ROI. So they do things like list chasing, cold calling FSBOs and expireds, or direct mail to FSBOs and expireds, or they do social chasing. So they run up a bunch of money on Facebook ads that don't convert. And so if any of these ideas had been run through the marketing evaluator calculator, which we're going to do in a minute, then they would have known before they got started that they were doing everything backwards and everything upside down. All right. So this upside down marketing gets the average agent, the average full-time agent, around 7 closings, which incidentally is exactly how many closings the average full-time agent does. All right. So don't do this. All right. Don't do upside down marketing. And I know a lot of you guys have been enlightened this week, and you realized unintentionally that you were doing upside down marketing. And so I want you to just commit. If you don't make any other commitments this week, I want you to commit that you're going to stop doing your marketing upside down. Instead, you're going to start with direct response marketing. And the reason why is because you can get unlimited closings from it. Okay. There's no limit. There's always a limit to infrastructure and sphere of influence. There's no limit to the kind of business you can get from direct response. Right. And then you should build infrastructure on top of that, get an additional 3 to 6 closings. And then your sphere of influence should be 2 to 3 closings. Although, this marketing pyramid is going to bring you 40 closings. The truth is, I think that you can get more from your sphere of influence using the strategy that we use today, but we're going to get specific about that in just a minute. All right. So I think you can get around 5 closings per year from your sphere of influence when done right. And the reason why is instead of sharing those 5 closings with all the other realtors who happen to be in your sphere of influence, you can get all of them if you're doing your marketing right. All right. So here's the cool thing. And by the way, this is what we're going to be teaching today. We're going to be teaching this, the cherry on top. So Monday, I taught you a great direct response marketing playbook that actually ROIs. Yesterday, we taught you the yard sign playbook. that is infrastructure, and it ROIs. It's maybe the best ROI of any. Levi, is it the best ROI? Or obviously there's some limit to how many signs you can place, but is it like the single best ROI for dollars spent? Or I'm not sure. Levi, you're muted, buddy.
I always do that. I'm sitting here typing to the chat, making sure questions are answered and whatnot. No, absolutely 100% right now. There is no rival in terms of ROI to the Yard Sign Playbook.
Cool. So then today we're going to teach how to get closings from your sphere of influence. And what's cool is if you just have the 3 webinars that we taught this week, then you have a complete marketing pyramid. And so tomorrow, to everybody that's joined one of our live webinars, if you just registered and had the best of intentions but didn't show up, sorry. But everyone who's attended at least one piece of one webinar, you'll get all 3, and we'll let you save them so that you can watch them back as many times as you want or show them to your team or whatever. All right. So sphere of influence marketing, let's talk about it. Okay. So sphere of influence. Okay. Did you know that 1% of your list are always moving? So if you think about your databases, like all of your adult friends, family, past clients, everything, the math suggests that roughly, it's not exactly right on the money. It's actually more like 1 out of 99. And of course it fluctuates from year to year based on, what percentage of the general adult population are moving, but generally about 1% of your list are always moving. All right. That means you could literally do a test where if you pulled out a notepad and a pen and started writing down your friends, family, past clients, by the time you got to 100, guarantee one of those people is currently looking for a new home or they're selling their current home. And the problem is you just don't know who's who. Right. But if you did, here's what's cool about your sphere of influence. These are like pre-converted leads. So obviously we spend a lot of time trying to convert leads, nurture leads, trying to get them to do business with us versus their Uncle Larry. Okay. Sphere of influence leads come pre-converted, right? They already want to work with you by the time that they raise their hand and you realize they need your services. All right. And you may or may not have done this. This is rough. This is rough math, but this is pretty conservative. Sphere of influence leads convert 10 times better than other leads, right? And I'm a big fan of internet leads. Obviously, you saw yesterday, I'm a big fan of yard sign leads. Sphere of influence leads convert the best of all. All right. Here's the problem. Calling your database doesn't work. And here's why. You spend over 12 hours, even if you just spent 7 to 8 minutes on the phone with everybody in your list. And let's say that you just had an average size list of 100 people. Okay. That's going to equate to over 12 hours of conversation. And God forbid you get one chatty person and that person ends up talking to you for an hour. It's just going to go up from there. Okay,
Aunt Becky's gonna be, you're the first person who's called her in a month, and she's gonna want to hang on to you for a while.
Why does it feel like you have an actual Aunt Becky that you're?
I don't. I was protecting the guilty in that okay. With a fake name. Everybody has an Aunt Becky if you watch Full House growing up, though.
Oh, I was thinking, why does Aunt Becky sound so familiar? But there you go. All right. So you call your database. It takes over 12 hours. You do the idle chit chat thing. It's all me centered because remember, even though you're pretending to care about what's going on in their life, the whole goal is just to get to the end of the call and ask them, oh, who do you know who's buying or selling a home soon? Right. And they see straight through that crap. And I know it's what like the Tom Ferrys and stuff teach, and this is what you're supposed to do. And I'm not saying that nobody's ever converted a deal this way or found a client this way, but I can tell you it's not something I'm willing to do. And how many of you guys, Cindy says, hi, I'm the chatty person. All right, everybody delete Cindy from your database. Just kidding. But how many of you guys are just never going to do what I'm describing, even though it's what a lot of the old school coaches is anybody like, am I like way out there in left field that I'm the only person that hates doing crap like this? I just have no desire to, and I'm a hustler. I don't mind doing the cold calling. I don't mind getting hung up on, but calling people that I have true, genuine relationships with and pretending to be interested in their life just so I can ask them for a referral. I think that sucks. Yeah. A lot of you guys feel exactly the same way. And by the way, if I'm stepping on your toes, I don't think that I'm not going to go so far as to say this is like morally or ethically wrong, but I can tell you that it's ineffective. And eventually those people are going to dodge your calls. All right. So just there's a shelf life for this type of strategy. All right. And so Levi, real quick, let's bring up the marketing evaluator. I'm going to share my screen. If you can confirm when you do it, and hit me with, obviously we've tested this, in the past. We've worked with other agents who do it. Give me some of the stats that we have on, and by the way, if you weren't here the other day, you should know our marketing evaluator calculator allows you to basically put in the stats for any specific marketing idea, your basic marketing factors, okay? And then you got to calculate what your time's worth. And all you have to do is fill in all the fields that are a red dotted border. And then the marketing evaluator, once you've changed all that, it'll instantly tell you whether it's a good idea or a bad idea before you ever waste $1 on it. Okay. So Levi, what's it cost in terms of cash to call your list of 100 people? Assuming you're going to pay for your unlimited plan.
Yeah, it's $0 cash cost. That is
okay. So we're going to say $0. Okay. I calculated at 7 to 8 minutes per phone call that it's going to be about 12 hours every time you call. I know Tom Ferry says do this, like, is it once a month, once a quarter? What do they typically recommend? Tom Ferry recommends once a month, if I remember correctly. Does anybody in the audience know how often they recommend you do this?
I had an agent on one of the private screenings where we did this training basically say that she called once a quarter, but then she also sent birthday cards and Christmas cards and all that kind of stuff to her list as well.
Okay.
The way she was doing it was not even probably going to get, in fact, at the time of reporting, she had done it for most of the year and had not generated any leads. So yeah. She's not the example that you probably want to use.
Yeah. So let's just say that you did it every other month, since the average home search lasts for 70 days or about 10 weeks. Let's say you did it every month to make sure you got everybody. And we know that statistically there's about 5 people in your sphere of influence that will move this year if you have an audience of about 100 people. And so let's say there's 5 leads generated. Does that sound fair?
Sure.
Okay. Here's what that means, y'all. If your target yearly income is only 100,000, which most of you guys is probably more than that, and you're working a standard 3-hour work week, the time cost is astronomical. It means you're spending $720 a lead. I doubt very much if I called you on the phone and was like, hey, I have a new, lead service and I'd like to charge you $720 per lead. And then you've got to go and convert them on your own. No one's doing that. Okay. And so this is already a terrible idea in a typical market, but it becomes an even more terrible idea if you're like somewhere in the South, like we are, where the average home price is like $260,000, and we'll just say it's 3% average commission side. Our budget per lead is so much lower, and we're still spending like $720. All right. So do you guys see how that works? Does everybody get that? All right. So basically, the long and short of it is that this is a terrible idea. It's worse than even a lot of the other ideas that we tested in front of you this week. But you should be running every marketing any activity that you do in order to get leads, get clients, whatever it is. You should run it through that marketing evaluator to figure out whether it's something that's actually going to ROI for you. And if you keep doing stuff that doesn't ROI, you may feel like, well, I'm busy because I did get some leads. And, you may close some deals, but when you get to the end of the year, you're going to realize I did not have a profitable year. I didn't do enough. I didn't do enough commissions. GCI was too low and my marketing costs were way too high. And if it feels like you're not making any money, it's probably because you're not. All right. So don't call your database. Don't do the Tom Ferry plan. And I hate to call out Tom Ferry specifically. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but this is just a bad marketing plan. We just proved it with the numbers. Okay. Instead, I want to suggest an alternative idea, right? I want to suggest to you the lead surfacing message. So Levi and I developed this idea because we're just not willing to do the idle chit chat thing. All right. So this takes a total of 1 hour. It's a series of message, or it's really just one email and one text message. that you send out to your list of 100 people 2 times per year. So it's about an hour of your involvement. It's 100% value, and it's 100% them-centered. So the previous plan is me-centered. This is them-centered. And it's still going to get you the same five leads per year, but they'll actually look forward to your message. So this is way more sustainable, right? And you may actually, I'm curious to see some of you guys test it. You may get way more than 5 leads per year. And this is 5 leads per year per 100 in your database. So if you have a database of like 500 people, you're going to get 25 leads per year. And remember, these 5 leads per year are going to convert at an alarming, they're going to convert at like 80% of these people are actually going to do business with you. All right. All right. So that brings us to lesson number 2, where I'm going to break down the whole plan. And I'm going to show you how to get 5 closings a year from a lead surfacing message. Are you guys ready for this? All right. So here's the playbook. And I'm going to give you a chance to download this playbook at the end of the webinar, but let me just break it down in broad strokes. Step one is we're going to build your list. I'm going to give you some pointers on how to create a list of 100 people that likely would do business with you if given the opportunity. Step 2 is then I'm going to teach you how to segment your list. So you don't really, this isn't like a Beautiful Mind where you've got, all these different moving parts. The way that Levi and I segment our list is really, really painfully easy and simple. Step 3 is then copy our lead surfacing message, which we're going to give you a download of, and we're going to break it all down for you and show you how to do that. And then step 4 is repeat every 6 months. So I'll show you how to schedule it on your calendar and make it happen. All right. But the key here is get a copy of the lead surfacing message. All right. And then, of course, download the full playbook at the end of the webinar. All right. So step 1 is to build your list. And this is where me and Levi are going to wag our finger at you. And we're going to be the adult in the room. And we're going to say, hey, make sure you get yourself a CRM. If you don't have a CRM, pulling this off and making it consistent is going to be really, really difficult. So I am proudly recommending literally any of the logos that you see on your screen right now. Levi and I happily recommend any. Are there any of these companies that you would specifically say, hey, don't use them? Be honest.
I wouldn't have put them on the screen if I wouldn't recommend them.
Okay.
So they're all fine. They're all good for different things, but
yeah, and I totally agree. A couple of these we're big fans of. A couple of them we're not huge fans of, but they work. And I have no qualms with recommending every one of these programs. In fact, why don't you guys go to the chat and tell us which one you're using, or if yours is not on the screen, as long as you're using a CRM, we really don't care which CRM you're using. But we will tell you it's got to have a couple of different features. Okay, so get a CRM first before you start building your list. All right, so you're going to make a list, and you can start on paper if you want, but you need to have a place to put them once you make your list. All right, so it should include all of your family, and specifically, I would recommend, like, obviously, we're going to get a lot more business if this is local, but the truth is, if you've got family, and me and Levi have family in New Mexico, right? I have no problem finding somebody to refer them to, even though they live, 1,000 miles away. There's no problem for us, or 2,000 miles away, whatever it is. No problem finding them a good realtor in New Mexico and taking a 30% referral for it. Okay. So all of your family, adult, this is an adult, a list of your adult friends or family, people who actually could buy a home. So anybody 18 years and older. Your friends and acquaintances. So this is like your friends, and I add acquaintances because it's also like either the people you used to be friends with, the people you grew up with, the people you go to church with, the people that are part of whatever organization or club. Levi coaches high school soccer, and so he knows a lot of people from there. He's also involved in a really big network, a Bible study, tons of friends there. So you're just going to make, not all those people would call themselves friends, but if you know them and they know you and have some kind of trust or familiarity there, then I'd add them to the list too. And then, of course, past clients. And hopefully these are already in your CRM, but if they're not, let's go ahead and add them to your CRM. So just anybody you've helped buy or sell a house in, let's just say, the last 5 years, right? So, if you're doing 10 transactions a year, last 5 years, that's 50 people right there that should be on your list. Do you guys feel me on? Does everyone understand I did this? And by the way, There really is no limit to how big your list should be. Like the bigger, the better. All right. As long as all of these people actually have a legitimate relationship with you. So they're really past clients. They're really friends or acquaintances. They're not just somebody that you've heard of that's like a friend of a friend, but you've never met and they've never heard of your name. That person doesn't belong on the list. Okay. So make your list. Janet says softly. I don't know what that refers to, Janet, but we'll do a Q&A at the end and you can get more specific. And then you're going to upload all of these people to your CRM. All right. And again, it doesn't really matter what CRM you use. It would be better if your CRM supports text messaging and emails direct, where you can upload templates with merge data directly in from the CRM. But even a CRM like Realty Juggler, where you clicking on it and it's sending directly from Gmail or it's sending directly from your phone, that's fine too. Really, you just have to have a place where you can get really organized before you get started on this thing. So that's step one, is build your list. Step two is you got to segment your list. So newsflash, and this is something that I feel like the Tom Ferrys of the world, I'm not calling him out specifically, but those type of old school sphere of influence coaches, they never talk about, is that your list of adult friends, not all of them own a home. Okay. Not all of them are buying a home or will ever buy a home, right? So you've got to segment your list of people who are currently homeowners and people who are not, right? So homeowners and non-homeowners, right? And you can just tag them. You can put them in a category. We don't really care how you segment your list. Every CRM works different. And by the way, Levi, if you have any tips on this, feel free to jump in while I'm teaching through it. But then you're going to segment them friends or family. So I always like using tags. So you can add multiple tags and have different ways to slice and dice the list, but friends versus family, and then your inner and outer circles. Now, inner and outer circles is not specifically important for this particular strategy, but your inner and outer circle, we teach this. How many of you guys have ever attended our Upcirculating webinar where we teach through the Upcirculating playbook? It is important when you do that. So if you're going to do Upcirculating, which you should, then you need your inner and outer circles, and you might as well go ahead and segment the list right now. But your inner circle is, these are the people that if you texted them and say, hey, I'm moving this Saturday, can you show up at 8 a.m. and help us pack boxes, that they'd be there without a second thought. That's your inner circle. Your outer circle are the people that be like, I don't know. Well, you see, I'm kind of busy this weekend. It's your outer circle. All right. So inner circle is people you can count on for a favor. Outer circle is people that you probably wouldn't even ask for a favor, because while you know and like and trust them, they're just not close enough where you could expect a favor out of them like that. So inner and outer circle segment. And then you need to make sure that you've got their phone and their email, because this is going to be an email plus text message combo. All right. And then step three is the lead surfacing message. So this is an email and an SMS. All right. We're gonna send one to homeowners, or homeowners, we're gonna send one email and one text, and then non-homeowners, we're gonna send a different email and a different text, right? So both times for both lists, it's just one email and one text, but we are gonna segment the list and send a different message to each person. If all your adult friends are homeowners, congratulations, right? But for those of you who have friends who aren't or who don't own their home, then you want to send them a different email or text. All right. So this is email number one. This is for the homeowner set. Okay, and I'm just going to break it down real quick. The subject line, if you have the address of the person, and by the way, if you know their address, actually, quick pro tip. Whenever I was building my list, the best place to start is, how many of you guys keep a spreadsheet of all of your Christmas card list? Levi, do you and Kristen keep a Christmas card list with all the updated addresses? Okay, so that is the best place. I think Hannah, she's actually in the room. Hannah, how big is our list? Is it like 40 people, 45 people? Okay, so that's the list of people that we have. Hannah's shaking her head, yes. 45 people that we have their address to. So if you have their address, make sure that it goes into the CRM. And I promise, I know this does not sound like a guerrilla realty marketing idea. This is like totally old school analog to the max. But when you guys actually see how this works, you're going to be freaking blown away. All right. So start with the Christmas card list, upload it to your CRM, but then start adding. So the subject line, it should be their address first. And the reason why is we're trying to get them to open this friggin' email. And if I were to send Levi an email, the subject line, if I send him an email that didn't have a subject line, he probably wouldn't open it. right? He's archiving that sucker before he even reads it, right? And we're business partners. But if I send a subject line that had his home address, okay, which I'm not gonna dox him here on the webinar, but 123 Elm Street, okay, he's gonna open that sucker. And it's the same with your friends and family list. So if you have it, then you're going to do your address. And this is only if your CRM supports, mail merge, right? Where you can merge the data based on the unique, dynamic data based on the contact in the database, right? And then the fallback would just be your home value. So if you don't have the address, then the fallback would just say your home value. Does that make sense? Everybody good with that? If you don't know how to do this, you're going to have to get specific training from your CRM, but our team can help you locate that. So then the subject line, if it's their address, they're going to open that every friggin' time. And then you're going to say, hey, first name. So, hey, John, how have you been? I like to do this once or twice a year when I remember. Property values have changed a lot in the past 6 months. So I'm offering all my friends and family a free professional valuation on their home. If there's even a 0.1% chance you might move in the next 6 months, or if you're just curious and then again, your address, if you have it, okay, what 123 Elm Street would sell for, or just your home as the fallback if you don't have the address, this will be useful. The valuation method I use is extremely accurate. There's absolutely no pressure and no strings attached. You won't be obligated to use me as your agent. If you'd like to know what your home is worth, you can get an instant estimate here, and you're going to insert your instant CMA link. What in the world is an instant CMA, Chris? I'm going to explain that in just a minute. Okay. Then I'll follow up with a full professional valuation so you know exactly where you stand. Talk soon. Signed, your name. That is the whole email. So quick poll. Okay. Even you guys who hate doing hardcore sphere of influence marketing, how many of you guys feel comfortable sending a message like this? Just quick show of hands. Is there anybody? Just say yes or no in the comments. I want to know if there's anybody that's like, I don't know, Chris, that's too much. Because what we're trying to do is me and Levi don't like to be a bother with our friends and family. We want them to know that we're open for business and we're good at what we do, but we don't want to be a bother. So is there anybody that's like, Chris, I still can't do that. That's too forward. I want to know about it. But it looks like overwhelmingly everybody is 100% good with sending out a message like this. And by the way, one of the reasons I can send this out is because me and Levi, as developers of the Bulletproof CMA methodology, we use the Bulletproof CMA. So it's actually a good product, right? Most realtors, the reason they can't offer their CMA as an irresistible bribe is because their CMA sucks, right? But if you're using the Bulletproof CMA, this is an absolute no-brainer. So you're going to insert an instant CMA link, which is a new feature we've just added to Pro Tools. This is the easiest way to make this happen. And I'm going to actually demo it for you in just a moment, okay? But you're then going to instantly follow up this email with a text message to the same list. Okay. Hey, first name, just checking in. I'm doing free home valuations for my friends and family again. I do this a couple times a year since prices keep changing. No pressure at all. It's just helpful if you're curious what 123 Elm Street is worth. Here's the link to get your instant estimate with a link. By the way, I sent you an email too, just so they know to go check it. And I'm going to insert the instant CMA link. Okay, Chris, you keep talking about this. What the heck is an instant CMA? So this is a product that Levi and I came up with a little while ago, but we're finally ready to unveil it. We've just added this to our Pro Tools system. Okay. So this is an instant CMA. It's what we call a smart CMA landing page. This is just a screen grab from the dev of this product. Okay. Where it's just a basic, like CMA capture page where it says, what's my property worth? Enter any property address for instant home valuation report. And so the user is going to begin typing in their address, which this smart CMA landing page is going to use the Google API to auto-complete. So you get a very, very high conversion here. If they even type the first couple of numbers of their street address, then we know where they are if their location is shared in their browser, and it's going to locate and pinpoint their address very quickly, and they're going to select it and click search. And as soon as they click search, this smart CMA landing page is going to begin finding their home. So one moment we're finding this property. Sometimes it takes 10 seconds. Sometimes it takes 60 seconds. We've captured the lead either way. And I'm going to show you how we did that. Okay. We've already captured the lead. All right. But After it loads, it's going to look like this. Is this the right property? And it's going to give them all the stats that we found online for their property. All right. And we're going to say this is a dummy property. This isn't the real thing. Okay. And they're going to either say, no, enter my details manually if they still want the valuation, or yes, get my instant valuation now. All right. Most of them are going to click the get my instant valuation, and boom, they're going to get a page response that looks like this. All right. So it's got their address up here. This is a quick estimate beta. We've pulled data from Zillow, Redfin, and Realtor.com to calculate a simple estimate of your property's value. This estimate should not be used to price your property. Now, just so you guys know how the math works, this is really simple. We've built a range of value just based on the three pricing models that are available out there on the internet. This is not meant to be a real deal. This is just an instant or quick estimate. It's not meant to be a real valuation. We want them to request an accurate property evaluation for free. And it says point blank, this estimate is inherently unreliable. Pinpoint your true value with a free, accurate property valuation. So we want them to get the APV. And when they request it, when they hit request, it's going to open up a lead modal that allows them to complete their property details, their phone, their phone number, email address, and it requests for you to go do a CMA. And that information is, if you have Pro Tools, it's automatically going to be ported over to Bulletproof CMA, so you can start working on a CMA immediately. It also is going to say, how quickly can I sell my home? So this will also get them interested where they can complete their lead data. Because remember, at this point, ostensibly, all we have is their home address or the address of the property they're looking for. Okay. But here's what's cool. Some people are going to click one of these buttons and complete their lead data. Some people are not. But whether they do or not, if they don't, after 30 minutes and they still haven't requested a free report, then we skip trace their data. So we skip trace their home address with a very, very, very reliable, Levi and I have been testing it all week. It's amazing. Very, very reliable skip tracing service. And this is all inclusive of the price of Pro Tools. And you get the lead data either way. So I just practiced this on my home address like an hour ago, just because I just get tickled to death watching it happen. And I get a lead with my wife's phone number on it, right? An hour later, and none of that data was ever submitted. So that's how an instant CMA landing page works. And you guys should all have a smart CMA landing page that is able to skip trace the data based on the address. Cool. Is anybody like blown away? Hey, I had no idea that you even had that capability. Anybody excited to try something like this out? Don't worry. There is a poor man's version of this. If you don't have Pro Tools, or you hate me and Levi, or you've got beef and you don't want to get Pro Tools, there is a poor man's version where you can kind of DIY. It is never, ever going to capture as many leads as our Smart CMA landing pages. And the reason why is, remember, we have like near a 100% capture rate on this page, because all they have to do is start typing their address. Boom, we got the lead. Sharona says, I don't see it in Pro Tools. That's because it's not there yet. It's a beta feature that's only going to go out to very select users. So if you want to be one of them, I'll show you how to do that at the end of the webinar. All right, now let's talk about your non-homeowner friends. Right. So we're going to send them a subject or an email with the subject line buying. Hey, first name, hope you're doing great. I like to do this once or twice a year for my friends and family who might be thinking about buying a home. If there's even a 0.1% chance you might be buying the next year, I've got 2 free things that can really help. First, I can set you up with a direct MLS search. It's way better than Zillow because it shows every listing in real time, straight from the source. Second, I can connect you with a great lender who can do a soft credit pull and get you pre-approved, no obligation, no commitment, just to see where you stand. If either of these would be helpful, just hit reply and say yes, and I'll get you started. Talk soon. Boom. Okay. And this is the email that you send out to your non-homeowner friends. And this is the text message. Hey, first name, quick question. I try to reach out to my people 2 times per year, or as I remember, will you be buying a house in the next 6 to 9 months? If there's even a 0.1% chance you might, I can set you up with a free MLS search that's way better than Zillow. And I can connect you with a great lender who can do a soft credit pre-approval. No commitment to ever use me, of course, just good info. Want me to send you the links. Okay. This will not have the exact same conversion rate as the text to our homeowner friends. But honestly, these leads aren't as valuable either, right? They're still valuable when they come in. But if you just do this twice a year, we've done the math on this, the statistical modeling, and you really should never have a single friend who forgets that you are an authority, right? that you're a licensed realtor and that you're ready to help when they need it. And so this is the easiest way, and it's so low pressure and it's so all about them that nobody ever gets mad. Levi, you ever had anybody get mad sending them a message like this?
No, I mean, it's straight. That one of my favorite parts about it is it's straightforward. You're not doing the thing where you're like, oh, how are the kids? You doing okay? The job's still good. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm a realtor. Do you know anybody buying or selling a house? And then they're like bait and switch. They're like, well, do you actually care about me? That's their thought process.
Yeah, no, it's so fake.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I send both of these messages. I send them 2 times per year to my list. The difference is, you're sending one email and one text message to your list twice a year. It's just you want to segment and send a different message to homeowners versus a different message to non-homeowners. That's it. Right? All right. So step 4 is repeat every 6 months. So specifically, here's my advice. Put it on your calendar. All right. Take it seriously. So do it this week. Can anybody commit to doing it this week? Anybody at all? Show of hands in the chat. You guys promised me at the beginning you were going to execute today. So do it this week, either today, tomorrow, Friday, doesn't really matter, but do it this week and then do it again on May 4th, right? That'd be 6 months from today. Go ahead and put it on the calendar. You're going to do the lead surfacing text. You just put lead surfacing text that Monday and do it all over again, right? You'll get every deal in your database. Remember, 1% of your list is moving at all times. They're moving right now. Okay. They're always moving 1%. Okay. That's the 1% rule. But this is the easiest way to get every deal in your database without becoming an annoyance. All right. So you do need professional marketing tools to make this happen. Obviously, this becomes a lot more difficult if you don't have a smart CMA landing page that captures the lead, that skip traces the data, and gets them to raise their hand so that you know which people to follow up with on your list and which people not to follow up with. Like, isn't it kind of cool when you have the instant CMA thing, the instant estimate, that you could send out a list to like 200 people and you would know which ones had requested an instant home valuation by just looking up their address and then all the data skip traced? It's awesome. All right. So most of you guys have one of these CRM platforms. So BoldTrail, KW Command, one of these. Okay. Or some other company platform. Okay. But you don't have professional marketing tools. So I've showed you all the marketing tools that we use, like the listing grabber, the SMS text autoresponder, the lead web pages, the single property websites that you can build in like 10 seconds or less. Okay. And you don't have a smart CMA landing page. Okay. I know some of you guys are going to be like, oh, Sync has a really cool instant valuator. Okay. No offense to Sync. I think it's a cool idea, but they do not do what we do. It doesn't actually capture leads. It's just like a weekly or a monthly update. I get those emails from some realtor whose database I'm in. Okay. And Sync, I'm a big fan of Sync. They're awesome. They built some incredible tech, but this ain't the same thing. Okay. So the easiest way to upgrade your system to professional marketing tools is not to nix your current CRM. Remember, we want you to keep using your current CRM if you like it. It's just to add Pro Tools to it. So this is not a choice between Pro Tools and your current system. It's take your CRM platform, which is really good at organizing leads, doing lead follow-up, segmenting your list, sending out emails and text messages, and just add Pro Tools to it, and you're all set. And remember, Pro Tools, every lead that comes through Pro Tools will go directly into your CRM, and you can just do a simple integration, and we'll connect to all CRMs you see on the screen, plus every other company platform on earth. We're going to get question after question. Oh, do you connect to this service or that service? The answer is yes, always yes. And that brings us to lesson number 3, how to create an evergreen system that gets clients on autopilot. So there's a formula for this. Formula is step 1. You've got to have a lead playbook. So you need a consistent step-by-step formula or series of activities that you can do that are going to bring you leads every time you do it. So I just showed you our lead surfacing message, and it's really simple if you have the right tools, right? But I'm going to show you the stack that we've put together this week. So imagine that you were doing all of these marketplace ads like we taught you on Monday, guerrilla yard signs like I taught you yesterday. And you don't have to have a listing. If you missed yesterday, I showed you how to plant a sign in the yard of every FSBO in your market. It's amazing. Okay. And then lead surfacing text. Now with this stack, with this stack, you have a complete marketing pyramid. And this is what you're going to be getting: 80 leads for every listing that you advertise on Marketplace, 50 leads from every yard sign that you place, and 5 leads per year from your list for every 100 people on your list. So if you've got 200 people or 300 people, it'll go up to 10 or 15. And these convert, I put an asterisk because these convert at such an astronomically high rate that they're really not the same. They're like pre-converted leads. They're amazing. Okay. So there's 135 leads from this marketing pyramid, and this is sustainable. So the first thing you've got to do is you've got to have a lead playbook. All right. Step 2 is you've got to plug it into a consistent follow-up system. All right. And so I'm going to give you a chance. If you guys, how many of you guys would like to see me and Levi's follow-up system? We'll just pull back the curtain and show you all of our scripts and our timing system. If you like that, I'm going to give you a chance to get it in just a moment. But I'm going to let you download the lead surfacing playbook, like the actual, I just walked you through it. But how many of you guys would like to have like the checklist style, actual internal professional playbook that we don't sell it? It comes with Pro Tools, but if we did sell it, it'd be like $1,200. I'm going to let you guys download it for free today. So step 1, lead playbook. Step 2, plug it into a human-to-human follow-up system. And when you do these things in the right order over and over and over again consistently, you're going to always be an escrow, which has kind of become a slogan of ours. You guys want to always be an escrow, you always have another commission on the way. This is the formula to do it. And here's the system that we use. It's called Pro Tools. So Pro Tools is a complete marketing engine for realtors, which of course poses the question, what the heck is a marketing engine? So I've been through this, but real estate is the best business on earth. I don't think anybody will dispute that. But, right, eventually every realtor is going to discover that getting consistent clients is really freaking hard. And man, it shouldn't be, right? But it's really freaking hard. And the problem is every realtor's abandoned to build their own marketing pyramid or their marketing engine from scratch. And so what we've dedicated the last 10 years of our lives to is building a complete marketing engine that you can just drop into. It's a duplicatable system. You can drop it into any real estate agent's business, any market, any level of experience, and turn the key and just start lining up client after client after client consistently. And the way we do that is we write you a custom marketing plan. So the first thing you get inside of Pro Tools is a marketing plan where me, Levi, and the team, we actually write you not a stock plan, but a custom plan. And of course, you get instant access to all the marketing playbooks that we've put out, 31 of them at this point. But you get the plan. Then you get the marketing software. So I'll show you some of that cool software in a minute. But you get all the software that you need to execute the plan and make it push button easy. And then you also get marketing coach. So I know some of you guys are groaning at the idea of uploading to a CRM, segmenting your list. But what if you just had a licensed active agent certified to hold your hand and help you execute? Think it'd be easier? It would be, right? And so here's the only tool that you need from Pro Tools specifically for today's webinar, but it's absolutely crucial. You're going to be hard pressed to really pull it off in a effective way without it. You need the Smart CMA landing page. And this allows you to skip trace instant estimate requests just from an auto-completed street address. And it's awesome. Here's the other tools. And by the way, Pro Tools connects to any CRM. So all of these leads will instantly go into whatever CRM you're currently using. But here's some of the other software you get with Pro Tools. The listing grabber instantly grabs borrowed listings, ad creator, lead website, SMS text, phone capture, guerrilla yard signs. So you can instantly create lead capture signs for every listing or even FSBO listing. Smart CMA landing page, 31 playbooks, and unlimited one-to-one coaching and tech support, which is why we can offer the only 100% risk-free guarantee in the industry with zero fine print. All right. And that is something that we take very seriously here. And I'll cover it again in just a moment. But this is a promise we live and die by. If you join Pro Tools and you do your marketing plan and you don't make massive progress towards your stretch goal, then not only can you cancel, but we'll insist on a full refund. So I know you guys are thinking, what's the cost? It's got to, there's got to be a catch somewhere. This is too good to be true. This looks too easy, too good. It can't possibly be that easy, right? Well, if you were to go and get all this stuff separately, it would be pricey. So we did the research recently, $12,816 for the year. But because we built our own platform from scratch and bundled all of these services together under one simple dashboard, the total price for Pro Tools regularly is $26.99 per year. But right now, you guys probably already know we are running a very special early Black Friday deal. And this is our Black Friday deal. There will be no Black Friday deal on actual Black Friday. But it is not only the biggest discount we've ever offered, which is $1,000 off the yearly price, which literally rolls our yearly plan back to, like, was it 2021, Levi, or 2022 that we're rolling the price back? It's basically post-COVID era pricing.
2021 is the last time we offered that pricing.
Yeah. So this is an absolute amazing deal. And it's not $1,000 off one time. It's $1,000 off every year for life. So this is an absolutely incredible deal, and we're not done yet. So bonus number 2 is, I told you, if you guys want to see our follow-up plan, we are teaching a very special event called FU Masters, or Follow-Up Masters, on November 13th. And normally we'd sell tickets to this at $750 a pop, but in it, we're going to show you 2 key conversion scripts, our timing system, and we're going to give you free access to this thing. And you're going to get replay downloads in case you can't make the live event or you just want to rewatch it. And we guarantee a closing in under 60 days after watching this event. And that is why we're able to charge so much for the tickets, even though it is an online event. Bonus number 3 is we're giving you lifetime unlimited Callster AI. So this is a new feature inside of Callster that allows you to take our scripts and use Callster as a 24/7 role play partner, where you can talk to AI leads, internet leads, FSBO leads, etc. Unlimited calls, team access, call breakdown analysis. And instead of charging you $2,400, we're going to throw this in for free. And you and your team can use this. So you want your younger agents to practice. They can attend the event with you. They can also train on leads before they call the real thing. Okay, here's the deal: 100 copies only. Yesterday, we rolled out another bonus that we're going to offer as instant access to this new beta feature. This is a very limited access. Other Pro Tools users are not going to get it until sometime next year, but this allows you to create unlimited Guerrilla Realty or Guerrilla Yard signs instantly, auto-assign text codes, download the PDF, and send it to your print shop, who then can put together the sign for you very quickly. Instead of $1,800, we're going to give you this for free. Again, only 100 copies of this. And then instant access to our new beta feature, the Smart CMA landing pages. So Smart CMA landing page, instant estimates, bulletproof CMA requests, skip trace incomplete leads. This does it all for you. And instead of being $1,500 for this feature, we're going to add it for free. Pro Tools users will get it eventually, but again, it'll probably be sometime next year when they can start using this. So 100 copies only if you get Pro Tools right now. Here's a recap: 100 copies only of the last three bonuses. And there you go. All right. So if you want to get this deal, you just go to our website, pipelineprotools.com/pricing, and enter the promo code EARLYBF, as in early Black Friday. And this expires at midnight. So this is this is the last day of the webinar. This is the last day of the deal, unless you get yourself a demo. So I will warn you, there are precious few demos available right now. And so if you want to buy yourself a little extra time on this offer, you really want to ask some questions before you dive into Pro Tools, I just put a green button on your screen, and it also has one really cool incentive. If you get a demo, meaning you book a demo and show up for it, we will give you our lead surfacing message playbook, 100% free of charge, just for doing the demo. No pressure to buy anything, although a lot of you guys obviously will. And we'll throw in the other 2 playbooks that we taught this week. So Guerrilla Yard Signs and Plug and Play Facebook Marketplace ads. So go get a demo and then come back and let us know that you're booked. But I want you guys to know we have very precious few demo slots available. And when they're gone, they're gone. So real quick, we're going to do Q&A here in just a minute. There's a lot of you guys who are going to ask, hey, Chris, hey, Levi, I already have Pro Tools. How do I get this deal? So the easiest way to get this deal is to email us, support@guerrillarealty.com, subject line Black Friday. All right. So send us an email, support@guerrillarealty.com, subject line Black Friday. And when you do, we will let you purchase the $16.99 plan. It'll just add, we'll charge you today, but it'll add 12 months to your existing account. So you don't get shortchanged for your current plan. and it'll lock you in at the new price. So for some of you guys, it's actually going to drop your price because you're at a price that we haven't done a price like this since, like Levi said, back in 2021. So that's how you can get access to all the bonuses instantly. Okay. In addition to that, if you're a Pro Tools user, don't book a demo. You have access to a much higher level of coaching. The demos are amazing. You get some of our marketing coaches spend some real time with you and dig into your business and show you behind the scenes and all that stuff. But you'll be meeting with Levi and his team, our marketing coaches, once you're a Pro Tools user. Finally, once we're out of demo slots, which is going to be literally like any second now, we just don't have enough to go around, unfortunately. My suggestion to you would be just dive in and get it. You know that you want Pro Tools. You know this is what you've been looking for. So go ahead and get it right now. You can get started instantly rather than waiting around for your demo. And then and then you're covered by a guarantee. So I told you I'd touch on this again, but we have a 100% money back guarantee with zero fine print. So you join Pro Tools and do your marketing plan that we write for you, and you get to sign off on it. So it's not like you're just hamstrung by our plan. Okay. You get to take a look at it and you want to feel confident in it. But if you do the plan and you don't make massive progress towards your stretch goal, then you can cancel. There's a button in your account. You can request a refund, and we insist on sending it out the same day. And so you're 100% covered, guarantee wise. We're assuming all the risk here, not you. And so that's the price. Now we do have quarterly and monthly options for people. If $16.99 isn't an option for you, no matter how good the price is. But there you go. All right. So we're going to do Q&A here in just a minute. There are still precious few demo slots available. So while we're getting the questions queued up, if you guys want a demo and you want to extend the Black Friday deal for a couple of days for you to think it over, book a demo. You'll also get to ask a real marketing coach. These guys are like legit Jedi masters of this stuff. These guys are on my team. I work directly one-on-one with them every day. They've contributed a lot to actually develop the webinar that you just watched. In fact, what I like to say is if you enjoyed the webinar, the demo is like 10 times better. And so the demos are absolutely incredible. You're going to love it. So book a demo and then come back and let us know that you're booked. And there you go. All right, guys, anybody got questions that did not get answered during the webinar? Let's get them queued up right here. Levi, Ray asked, do you have an example of a text message that combines both buying and selling in one message?
No, because that's not the playbook.
Right.
We're purposefully segmenting out homeowners and non-homeowners, because anytime you confuse a call to action, and this is just a general marketing principle, right, and you say this or that, or you give them 4 different options, you're going to have less compliance, less follow through.
That's the paradox of choice. Yeah. Caitlin says, I absolutely want to do it, but I'm wondering how this is any different than the campaigns and drips that I already have set up on my CRM. My clients and contacts who are documented sellers are already on evaluation report, and they get a similar text message and email. The buyers get a similar message pretty regularly because that's part of the campaign drip that I wrote. Maybe I'm just psychically connected to you guys because I feel I sent this message out today. It would just feel spam because it's already happening. Well, Caitlin, what you just described was a list that is 100% made up of past clients. All right. So you're telling me that you don't have a single friend or family member who has ever bought or sold a house that was with anybody except for you, right? The only houses they've ever bought or the only houses they've ever sold were through you. And if that's the case, maybe you've been doing this for 50 years. And so really your network really is all past clients. Then it sounds like you're already doing this. Although I would still say that the instant CMA the Smart CMA landing page is a big upgrade. Then you probably have just already been doing, like you said, psychically connected to us. But you probably need a separate list that's friends and family members who you've never done business with, who don't overlap with your past clients. And you could send out this message to them.
There's probably also something to, like, if you're the impression that I got is that she's sending them like monthly or weekly or just all the time. And that's the fastest way to get your emails spammed and just ignored, basically.
Email blindness. They probably don't even see your messages anymore. So Rita says that would be great if you can also skip trace in the system. Is that something we have access to if we sign up, or is that still in beta? So it's a beta feature, but you'll get access to it when you sign up for the Black Friday deal. So guys, there are still just a couple of demo slots available. A bunch of you guys were waiting for demo slots yesterday. And so if you're back, there's like 3 or 4 left. So grab them. Janet says, can this strategy be used without the Smart CMA link? I'm already a Pro Tools subscriber. Can I get the Smart CMA app? So Janet, I would recommend that you get the Black Friday deal. It'll get you our best ever price. You'll be locked in for life. But if for some reason that's not financially feasible for you right now, we completely understand, and we would never pressure you to do that. And so what I would suggest is, put together the poor man's version by getting the lead surfacing playbook, which we'll have in the Levi. Just realistically, we set to have it out this week or next week, the playbook inside of Pro Tools.
The playbook will be out by the end of the week.
Okay, cool. I thought maybe it would be the end of next week, but anyway, Levi says by the end of this week, the playbook will actually be published inside of Pro Tools, and we'll the poor man's version of this, it'll be in there too, in case you don't have the Smart CMA landing page. Right. And it'd just be like a standard CMA link that you can send people to. If you don't have that feature. Ray says some clients may already own a home but are interested in buying another property as an investment. I prefer not to send them 2 separate messages. Okay. Makes sense, Ray. So I would say that if you get them to raise their hand, so you're saying like an investor. Yeah, it's a good question. It's probably not happening a lot. Levi, do you have any advice on that?
No, I'd probably send them the buyer message. And then when I harvested the lead, I'd probably use our seller conversion script on them where I offer the home valuation.
Okay.
You don't end up using the instant CMA page, but if they're, for example, an investor, they're probably more interested. They probably have a decent handle on what their homes are worth. And so they're more interested in finding something than they would be the home valuation. It's just my knee-jerk reaction anyways.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, guys, I think that we are officially out of demo slots. So we're just going to do a couple of more. We're going to do a couple more Q&A. So a lot of people are going to ask, what if I already have Pro Tools? I already said you can stack the Black Friday deal on top of your current plan, and it'll lock you in at our lowest ever price. Does Pro Tools connect to my CRM? Yes. Yes, a million times yes, every CRM on earth. How long should Pro Tools take to ROI? Levi, you've already covered this a couple times, but would you mind covering it again?
Yeah, so we track our success rates pretty closely. And by success, we're looking for signed clients, AKA ROI, return on investment. And the agents who complete the plan that we write for them, it's near 100% success rate inside of 30 days. Wow. So that's how quick it doesn't have to be months. And yes, I have agents ask. In fact, I had one yesterday ask me this after. They said, but it's kind of the slow time of year. Are you sure? Yes. If people are still buying or selling homes in your market, volume may be down because it is, holiday season, et cetera. But if people are still buying or selling in your market, then it's just a matter of finding them.
Yeah. Let me remind you guys, every single day, a truckload of closings happen in your market, right? In November and December, just as much as June and July. So we have no problem having this ROI guarantee. If you complete your plan, the plan that we write, how long does it typically take to complete? It's about 14 days, correct?
Correct.
And how many total hours of involvement for an average agent do we typically predict?
Some agents do it quicker than this, but we tell agents it should take about 8 to 10 hours. Now that's spread out over 2 weeks. So we actually plan for you to spend about 30 to 45 minutes per day.
Okay. So can you guys commit to doing about 8 to 10 hours of work to completing a marketing plan that is going to mirror that marketing pyramid that we showed you at the beginning of each one of these webinars? wouldn't it feel good if you had a strong foundation of direct response marketing, you had your infrastructure humming, and then you knew that your sphere of influence is basically on lock, where you didn't have to worry about, hey, is one of my friends or family going to end up going to somebody else because they just didn't know that I was open for business, which is the worst possible thing that can happen. Or maybe because I had never demonstrated my expertise as a realtor, maybe they just didn't feel comfortable to come to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Giselle says, can you go over the guarantee again? And Levi, if you'll put the link where people can sign up directly, because I know we're out of slots and there's a lot of people that maybe just want to skip the demo and just want to get started with Pro Tools right away. Here's how the guarantee works. All right. You join Pro Tools and you do the work, which just means you complete the marketing plan that we wrote. That's what we just figured out for you. Now, before you even get started on this, you get to sign off on, yes, I agree with that marketing plan. Yes, I'm happy to do all those things. You get to sign off on it. And if you don't sign off on it, then we'll go back to the drawing board and we'll come and present a new marketing plan for you. Okay. Pretty much all of these get signed off on. We have hardly ever, but sometimes we'll make little tweaks for you. Okay. So complete the marketing plan. And if you don't make massive progress, which you get to be the judge of what that means, right? You could do 10 extra closings this month and still say, well, that wasn't enough progress. You would still be eligible for a refund. We have no problem with that. Okay. So if you don't make massive progress towards your stretch goal, then not only can you cancel, but we will insist on a full refund of every dime that you've ever paid. The point here is that most realtors have to put their neck on the line to be burned by company after company after company, vendor after vendor after vendor. And there's no risk to the vendor. We're quite happy to take the risk because we understand that this is a partnership and we're not just here trying to get you a bunch of extra leads. Our goal here is for you to churn out consistent closings. That's what it means to have a true marketing engine. Okay. So most people in this space are just obsessed with lead generation. You notice we never use the terminology lead generation here at Guerrilla Realty. It's all about getting consistent clients. So I hope that covers it, Giselle. Giselle says, what's the monthly and quarterly payment plans? Yeah. So there's no current discount on the monthly and quarterly, but it is a little easier to get started. So the monthly is $299 per month, and it is a month-to-month plan. And then the quarterly is, I believe it's $769, Levi. Is that right? Yeah. So that's quarterly. And then obviously you can get the full year at $16.99 through the end of today. It expires at midnight unless you get yourself a demo. And we are completely sold out of demos.
Samantha said, do I need a website or does Pipeline Pro Tools act as that? He mentioned that in the list of like things. So
yeah, we just didn't get to demo it today, but yeah.
Yeah, we have a very high converting lead generating website. That's the only time you'll hear me use the term lead generating here. But yeah, you will not need another website in order to be able to utilize Pipeline Pro Tools. Terry asked about postcards. That's not part of our program or our plan. However, we did actually cover that on Monday when we talked about different direct response mailing options. King says, can Pro Tools be a standalone or do you have to connect to a CRM? So Pro Tools in and of itself is not a CRM. CRM stands for Contact Relationship Manager or Customer Relationship Manager. Right. So Pro Tools can connect to any CRM. We have a CRM we call Hatcher. It's free. It seamlessly connects with Pro Tools. King, that's for you.
Yeah.
Giselle says, what is the discount link again? There is no link for discount. You can go to pipelineprotools.com. I put the link in the chat several times now. It's just pipelineprotools.com. And then early BF is the discount code. That may be what you're referring to.
Yeah. And I'll send out an email reminding you guys of the deal before it closes at midnight tonight.
Dolly said, are the recordings for the past 3 days going to always be accessible? Do they expire?
We're going to send you a copy. I think we'll make it downloadable in case you want to save a copy forever. But if you're a Pro Tools user, we'll make sure that you have access to it forever.
And then Carol, this will probably be the last question, then we'll wrap it up for today. Carol says, is Hatcher for Pro Tools members only? No, we offer Hatcher for free to anybody.
Yeah.
It does work with Pipeline Pro Tools seamlessly, though.
Yeah. All right, guys. You guys have been awesome. I've enjoyed spending the week with you. This has been an insane schedule.
Chris's voice is almost gone. Three days of webinars.
Yeah, that was from catching a little bug. I think my voice is a little sturdier than all that, but I caught a bug sometime over the weekend, so it's a little weaker than normal. But you guys are awesome. I hope you guys are amped up, ready to run through a brick wall. I want you to literally just like close your eyes as you're logging off here, and I want you to imagine what it would feel like to have implemented each one of the 3 playbooks that we taught this week, where you have Facebook Marketplace ads churning out 2 to 3 leads a day, every day. Then imagine that you've planted 3 yard signs, 1 in your own listing and 2 at FSBO listings, and they're churning out, 10, 20 leads a week from drive-by traffic, serious buyers. And then imagine that you also send out this twice yearly, and you start this week and you send out this lead surfacing message. Imagine how busy you're going to be for the month of November and December. And then I want you to just close your eyes and imagine how much easier is it going to be for you to implement all of that if you have the software to do it, as Pro Tools, and you have a coach included in Pro Tools to hold your hand and to help you execute and walk through all of the pitfalls, right? Just imagine how different your business is going to look if you have all of that going on. So, all right, guys, logging off now. You can always email us at support@guerrillarealty.com or chris@guerrillarealty.com. That'll get you me. And it's been absolutely fantastic teaching you guys this week. I hope you're amped up and ready to go. We cannot wait to hear some of the cool results that you guys get from all the stuff that we've taught this week. Have a great November. Happy Black Friday. Take it easy. Bye.